At some point in your career, you probably asked yourself, am I really being seen for the leader I am? You show up, you deliver, you meet deadlines, but deep down, you know you're capable of leading and not just managing. If this resonates with you, this episode is for you. Today, I want to take you inside the journey that transformed me from project manager to project leader. I really had to look within myself and ask the questions, what am I missing? How come they don't believe in me yet? How can I lead people who don't want to be led? The answer to my questions lied in me harnessing power skills like emotional intelligence, collaborative leadership, communication, and strategic thinking. So as you listen to Inside the Journey, I want you to think about your own path. Where are you now? And who do you want to become as a leader? When you're ready to take the next step, click the link in the description to watch the full masterclass. This gives you the audio plus the visual to experience the full depth of my journey and a roadmap for you to simplify your path to project success by mastering 4 power skills. At any point in your life or career, have you ever felt unseen, unheard, wondering how you move forward in life? I know that feeling deeply. Early on in my career, I was working in the shadow of my mentor. I had ideas, I had drive, but I was stuck. My growth stagnating while I watched others get opportunities and get promoted. But that changed when I finally was given my own project to lead. For the first time, I was seen, but I wasn't heard. I had no authority, no influence, and I couldn't get colleagues to really follow through to take ownership. And I used to think project success was about the plan, the process, the tools, but no certification, no Gantt chart, and no methodology or framework could really move me forward. It wasn't until I tapped into something deeper, because project success doesn't just start with a strategy. It starts with you. And it starts with what I call our power skills. It's the inner tools that unlock your ability to lead, influence, and deliver results, even when the odds are stacked against you. So today, I want to discuss with you what changed and how I became the go-to project leader in my profession, not because I can create fancy dashboards, build AI agents, but because I know how to unify a team for a common purpose to solve the most complex challenges through my power skills. This isn't just another masterclass. This is the masterclass, the one that teaches you the art of project management, not just through tools or templates, but through transformation, because this is your roadmap to go from project manager to project leader. So you never again feel undervalued, unheard, or unsure of how to really move forward in your life and career. Transforming from project manager to project leader, for me, it didn't happen overnight. It required me to master the fundamentals, but what truly elevated me were the power skill. So in this masterclass, I want to walk you through the exact lessons that helped me to go from timid to trusted, from just really managing tasks to truly leading people. So here's what I'm going to cover today. Defining project management. What is a project? Project management foundations. The 7 core areas of project management. Project management assets. I'm going to go through the power of 4 and developing your power skills. So let's begin by defining project management. Project management is often defined as the discipline of planning, organizing, and managing resources to achieve specific goals with a set time frame. For me, project management wasn't something I chose originally. It was something that I was thrown into. I never set out to be a project manager. I'm an industrial and systems engineer by trade. So my corporate career, it began as an advanced development process engineer in the automotive industry. And as I mentioned, I was working under my mentor named Dave, helping to develop factories of the future by improving wire harness manufacturing processes and optimizing efficiency. Then one day, my boss, he calls me into his office and he says, I need to get my money's worth. You are no longer going to be working under Dave. I want to see what you are capable of. He told me I was going to be the project manager for the General Motors Chevy Volt. Now, this was during a time when hybrid and electric vehicles, they were really just emerging on the scene. And now I was leading the company's first hybrid EV development project. Talk about pressure. So I asked him, what are my options? He said, there are none. This is what you are going to be doing. And my performance was based and judged by this project. So again, the moment came with so much pressure and a lot of questions. So I did what any engineer might do in that moment. I started by asking myself, what exactly is a project? By definition, a project is a temporary endeavor with a clear beginning and end, created to deliver a unique product, service, or result. But I quickly realized project management is just one layer of a much bigger structure. At the foundation is what we call organizational project management, a strategic framework that aligns portfolios, programs, and projects to the goals of the organization. Think of it as like building a house. The foundation is the organizational structure. Everything is built on that. Then you have the first story. It's the project itself. The second story is the program, a group of related projects often coordinated to create broader outcomes. And then you have the roof. That's the portfolio, the total collection of programs and projects prioritized to deliver on business objectives. So once I understood the foundational structure of project management, the house, the stories, the roof, I realized something critical. It's not just about understanding the structure or the house. You have to live in it. And that meant mastering the 7 core areas of project management: planning, defining project goals, objectives, and scope, as well as outlining tasks, resources, and timelines required to achieve them; organizing, assigning roles and responsibilities to team members, and establishing communication channels for the team and ensuring that everyone understands their tasks and their deadlines; motivating, inspiring, and guiding team members to perform, providing the best support to them, giving recognition when due, and encouragement when it is needed. Every project requires controlling and monitoring project progress and identifying and addressing issues or risks and making necessary adjustments to keep the project on track. Resource management, is efficiently allocating and utilizing resources such as time, budget, personnel, and materials to maximize productivity and minimize waste. Communication, so important. Got to be able to facilitate clear and effective communication among team members, stakeholders, and anybody else relevant to the project throughout the entire duration of the project lifecycle. No project exists without risk. There will always be those uncertainties that may affect the project. It's about developing those strategies to really mitigate them and implementing some contingency plans when necessary. So immediately I found my footing in planning and organizing. And that made sense to me because I had an engineering background. I can plan and organize. But where I struggled was really motivating people and how to communicate, getting others to really care about the work. And this was my sink or swim moment. And I was leading a team of global engineers across North America and Juarez, Mexico, many of whom had decades more experience than I did. And I was drowning in project update meetings. I sped through PowerPoint slides, reading them word for word. I couldn't tell a compelling story. I couldn't facilitate very well a discussion. So just imagine I'm on a phone call with you and 20 other people and asking, does anyone have anything they want to share? No one spoke. I felt unheard. So I stopped trying. I didn't follow up with emails or actions because I thought, why bother? Then I got some feedback. My boss told me I was ineffective, that I talk too fast. A senior engineer said I was very soft-spoken and timid, and that I needed to show more authority. But here's what they didn't tell me, and what I had to really learn along the way, the hard way. Authority doesn't come from a title. At that time, I thought people had to report to you in order to listen to you. But what I didn't understand was the concept of influence. And I wouldn't discover that until I began to master emotional intelligence and the art of true communication. At that time, I didn't even know emotional intelligence was a thing. I just knew I had to push through the feeling of being intimidated. And that intimidation came from one major insecurity. I didn't have the same technical expertise as the people I was leading. But one day it clicked. My boss never told me I had to be the expert. He asked me to lead the team of experts. And this realization, it changed everything for me. I really stopped focusing on really trying to have all the answers. Instead, I just started asking better questions because project success isn't about knowing everything. It's about who to engage, what to ask, and how to really align to the goal. So I went deeper into the fundamentals. I began to tap into project assets and methods, the real building blocks that drive performance. So from checklists to templates to knowledge repositories to environmental factors, I started building really the operational mechanisms that allow the team to really move with clarity, consistency, and confidence. And this helped me tremendously gain that confidence over time. Once I stopped trying to be the expert and started really focusing on leading the work, that's when things changed. I just stopped showing up to meetings with a blank canvas expecting somebody would help me. Instead, I came in prepared with an open issues tracker that outlined every activity, every roadblock, and every next step. And we didn't just talk in meetings. We used those meetings to really solve the problems. We assigned owners, we made decisions, and people really started engaging. And that was the communication, but it didn't stop there. I had to work closely with one of my colleagues, but he didn't speak really good English, and I don't speak good Spanish beyond hola. So I had to ask myself, how do I lead across language barriers? That's when I learned one of the most valuable lessons of my career. The art of communication is meeting people where they are at, where they are. So I began using PowerPoint, not just present, but to build a visual language. So my colleague and I would kind of sketch out the process together using flowcharts and decision trees and pics of 3D CAD models. And I prepared for each meeting, intentionally working on tone, speed, vocabulary, and I made sure people could really follow the story and not just the slides. And after every meeting, I sent a clear, actionable recap. So there was no confusion, no missteps. And so we moved as one. But communication wasn't the only skill I had to grow. I was also supervising 2 operators who built prototypes at our assembly station while still managing this entire complex project. And this is where I discovered the real meaning of servant leadership. What does it mean to really lead people? And what helped me was strategic thinking, how to prioritize, how to get creative when I have limited resources, and how to meet expectations when the odds, again, aren't really in my favor. Then came the moment of truth, was my performance review. That was it. It was really my measuring stick moment. Had I done enough? Had I met the expectations my boss placed upon me when he kind of just threw me into the fire? He looked at me and said, "You found your gift. This is your calling." I earned the highest performance review in our entire group. And as the only woman on the team, that meant more than I can just even put into words right now. He didn't just give me high marks. He gave me a bonus and a handwritten card acknowledging my growth, my leadership, and the results that I was able to achieve with the team. But let me be clear. This wasn't just about learning methodologies. That's part of it, or memorizing formulas. That's part of it, or managing constraints. All part of it. This was about power skills, because power skills are what enable you and allow you to lead through uncertainty. Nothing is never clear in the beginning, and be able to communicate across language barriers to inspire confidence even when we don't have all the answers. And that's what I want to teach you in this course. So you don't have to struggle the way that I did, and you have someone to talk through things with. So what exactly are these power skills that transformed everything for me? These are not just soft skills, and I truly believe they are not optional. They are the core of what separates a project manager from a project leader. So here are the 4 that changed my career, and I know they can change your career as well. The power of 1, emotional intelligence, the ability to manage your own emotions, read the room, and respond with intention, not impulse. It's how I stopped being intimidated and started showing up with confidence. The power of 2, collaborative leadership, leading without authority by aligning people around, again, a purpose, not position. It's how I influence people who don't report to me and build trust across language and experience gaps. The power of three is critical: communication, ability to connect, clarify, and compel. Not just giving updates, but telling stories, assigning ownership, and making every meeting matter. The power of four, strategic thinking. Got to be able to make those sound decisions with limited time, people, and resources. And it's how I delivered results and exceeded expectations and high pressure environments. And these are the skills that have elevated me just beyond the automotive industry. They really empowered me to lead cross-functional corporate initiatives, not only in traditional manufacturing, but in sustainability, product vitality, platform design, modularization. So no matter the project or industry, these skills travel with you and really set you apart. And that's exactly what I'll teach you in the full course. Simplify your path to project success. Master 4 power skills. Everything I've shared with you today, the struggles, the breakthroughs, the transformation, they all led to one undeniable truth. Project success doesn't just come from tools or timelines. They don't. It comes from you. And that's why I created the Mastering Power Skills system to help you along the journey, a step-by-step course designed to help you develop and sharpen these 4 power skills that elevate everything you do. Again, the emotional intelligence, collaborative leadership, the communication, strategic thinking. The world is very complex, so how do we leverage these skills? And let's face it, we'll always be up against the 7 project management constraints, but it's how well we navigate these constraints and determine how you will influence the people that you are leading. This isn't just another project management course. It's a blueprint to help you show up as a leader. Every team wants a project leader, regardless of the title, background, or industry. So whether you're trying to gain more influence, increase visibility, or finally really step into the leadership role that you were ready for, that you were born to lead, this system gives you the roadmap. So if anything resonated with you today, if you see yourself in my journey or my story, feeling unheard, unseen, and you just need that coach in your corner, then don't wait. Join me in the full course. Simplify your path to project success. Master 4 power skills, because your future as a powerful, purpose-driven project leader starts now. The best project you'll ever work on in life is you. See you in the course.